Alyssa Mercante is out at Kotaku amid some layoffs that have been happening. She claims that she was not part of the layoffs. I wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. You can find the link in the description below. You can also find a link to become a member of the channel. Mercante announced that she was out at Kotaku in a post on X. She says, "Work news, after exactly 2 years, I've decided to leave Kotaku and my role as senior editor. I am eternally grateful for Kotaku's editorial team and all they have taught me during my time there. They are some of the best in the business, and I will be forever proud to have shared a masthead with them. They continuously fight to maintain the editorial pillars that make Kotaku great and hold on to their journalistic integrity in the face of increasing pressure to compromise that. It's been a long few months during which I've learned a lot by myself and my value as both a woman and a writer. This is the right decision for me. I have some things coming down the pike, so keep your eyes peeled." In a subsequent post, she did say this decision was made before the layoffs, but now I'm even more glad I made it. So I didn't know what that was when I wrote this article when she was talking about the layoffs, because they did have those layoffs a year ago, November 2023. But apparently there were a bunch of layoffs that happened yesterday as well, following the election of President Donald Trump. So that happened. So she posted this and trying to say that it was before the layoffs. It's likely she saw the writing on the wall. Obviously, she was setting herself up on Twitch, etc., clearly trying to get something going outside of Kotaku in the past couple of weeks. What's interesting is we do have this here from Hypnotic. He predicts that she will most likely be a DEI consultant for Sweet Baby Inc., the company she ran damage control for. And there is some evidence for that. She did recently post that she was visiting Compulsion Games, which is located in Montreal, Canada, the same city where Sweet Baby Inc. is located. Furthermore, Sweet Baby Inc. is consulting on South of Midnight, which is currently being developed by Compulsion Games. Now, obviously, it's possible that she could be using her connections with Sweet Baby Inc. to get inside of Compulsion Games. We know that that company is ultra woke. It's part of Microsoft. They are ultra woke. So it is very possible that she finds herself at Compulsion Games. You can see she posted this picture of herself and two other people here at Compulsion Games. And she says, yes, we're seeing South of Midnight. So clearly doing something with South of Midnight and Compulsion Games. Unclear exactly what that is. But I do want to point this out too. Going back to her announcement there, talking about journalistic integrity in her post about leaving Kotaku. It's absolutely hilarious because she infamously ran cover for Sweet Baby Inc. back in March and made a point not to include the facts that Sweet Baby Inc. employees attempted to harass Brazilian gamer Brutus Rambo, get his Sweet Baby Inc. detected Steam curator list shut down, and get his entire Steam account banned, effectively trying to steal all of the games that he purchased on Steam. So she has absolutely zero journalistic integrity, and Kotaku has none. And she was an editor. She was an editor at that outlet. Zero journalistic integrity there. Rather, Mercante painted Sweet Baby Inc. as the victims and a harmless design company, despite what Sweet Baby Inc. CEO Kim Belair said in 2019, where she encouraged employees at large AAA studios to terrify executives with social media cancel mobs. She said this during a game developers conference. If you're creative working in AAA, which I did for many years, put this stuff up to your higher ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want. So completely trying to paint Sweet Baby Inc., Kim Belair, and the people that work there as just some innocent victims when they're the ones who launched the cancel campaign against Brutus Rambo. They've been trying to infiltrate the video game industry for a number of years now, and I think they've successfully done that. Fortunately, we have seen what they've been up to, and now we are closing our wallets and not purchasing any of the games that they have worked on. You can see that over the past year here. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, I think probably being the biggest example. You can even look at God of War Ragnarok in its recent release on Steam. Did half of what the 2018 God of War game did when it released to Steam a couple of years ago. So gamers are indeed closing their wallets to Sweet Baby Inc. And it's not just Sweet Baby Inc. We're closing our wallets to any game that looks like it has been infected by woke ideology, whether or not Sweet Baby Inc. has worked on it, because we know it's not just Sweet Baby Inc. There are other consultancies out there. And in many cases, a lot of these AAA studios have institutionalized woke ideology. We see this at Ubisoft. We see this at Microsoft, Xbox. All of the Xbox subsidiaries have this stuff. Sony has it as well. You look at all the Sony subsidiaries, Insomniac, etc. So they all have a lot of this stuff. Even in the Japanese studios, Square Enix, Capcom, etc. Bandai Namco has been talking about it as well. So we've been saying no to the games that look like they have this woke ideology injected into it. Now, obviously, there are games at a lot of these companies that don't have this stuff. Bandai Namco being the perfect example. We just saw Unknown 9 Awakening was worked on by Sweet Baby Inc., but then they also released Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, right? So they haven't been completely converged, where some of these other companies have actually just been completely taken over. Ubisoft, I think, is probably the biggest example, where pretty much everything that they do is now tainted by the woke ideology. It has infected all of their subsidiaries, all of their studios, and they clearly have training programs where they are indoctrinating their employees. We know that Microsoft and Activision Blizzard have this as well. So this is stuff that we are opposed to, whether or not Sweet Baby Inc. has worked on the games. But that is the speculation from Hypnotic. Obviously, I think there's also a possibility, I think I mentioned a little bit earlier, but she could actually end up working at Compulsion Games or potentially some other Xbox subsidiary. Would not be surprised. She's clearly not going to go away. She's going to stay in the video game industry, and she's going to try to inject her heinous, evil ideology into it. I think in probably an even more sinister way, working from inside rather than maybe running cover from the outside at Kotaku. But we will definitely be keeping an eye on her. And anyone, I'm sure people are already going to say this. I'm already seeing it on X. If you just ignore her, she'll go away. Well, no, they don't. They don't go away. If you've read Rules for Radicals, if you know what these people do, they hide, they burrow in, and they try to continue to push the ideology in silence. I mean, Kim Belair literally talks about this. She says she doesn't want to be public. She wants to be working in the shadows, injecting the ideology behind where she's not actually being subjected to any criticism. We have to keep focused on what these people are doing and let people know, because in many cases, people won't know what they're doing and they'll just kind of go along. And we saw this the last decade for the most part, where we just kind of ignored a lot of what was going on with these people infiltrating the video game industry. And now look at what the state of the video game industry is now. Look at it. Like we just talked about how they've institutionalized a lot of this woke ideology and these DEI policies and agendas. So we have to be vigilant. We have to continue to cover this. We have to continue to call this stuff out, because we need to make people aware, and we need to make sure that people are opposing this stuff. Look how much power and influence we have when we do indeed boycott this stuff, close our wallets, say no to it. We are reshaping the industry as consumers by closing our wallets, and we have to continue to do this. Otherwise, they're going to keep feeding us garbage like Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. That is what they're going to keep giving us. Dragon Age, the Veil Guards. They're going to keep giving us political lectures and humiliation rituals until we say, no, we don't want that. We're not going to do this. And in many cases, people are going to start making, we also want people to start making their own stuff. And we start supporting those people that are not pushing this woke sickness on us. So we're going to keep covering what Alyssa Mercante is doing here, because I think she's going to burrow herself deeper into the video game industry. She's going to try and work from the inside now moving forward. I do not think she is going to go away. She's not going to be like Frost, who left the industry. She is going to stay in it, and she's going to try to inflict more woke ideology onto the industry. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always, always speak the truth.